I said a little while ago that I would make a makeup tutorial for my like consistent eye looks that I do. I'm not gonna make this product specific at all, like use whatever you have available. I am gonna be using these like Cheery Up Pignon palettes because they're my favorites. If you can get a hold of these, I would really recommend it, especially this one right here. These are what I'm gonna be using. You're gonna want like any sort of black eyeliner, a blending brush, packing brush. I use a little concealer brush. This is gonna be the ultimate packing tool. This is gonna be like what you need. I'm gonna go in, I think I have like a little bit of eyeliner left over from yesterday, so sorry about that. I'm not even gonna use primer. I'm just gonna go in. I typically start with like a cream just to help get like a base in, not cream, but like a crayon. So something like that before the powder, because you can still smear it around with your finger really well if it's pre-powder. Just kind of get that all packed in there. I'm gonna like shape it out with my finger. Get that waterline, kind of just smudge it around like that. This is a very messy tutorial. This isn't gonna be for people that actually know how to do makeup. This is how I'm doing my makeup. Okay, now that we have our little bit base on, we are gonna be outlining with whatever pen, eyeliner, whatever eyeliner you're comfortable using. This one is the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Fine eyeliner, like the waterproof one, super thin. I'm gonna use that, and what I'm gonna do here, this is really important. This is not gonna be universal. I'm gonna do something on my face that fits for me. What your goal is right now is to figure out what shape you have going on. So like I have really pronounced brow bones, and I have like deep set eyes, and like I have like a hood. So I kind of have to draw over what I have working with. So I'm going to keep my eyes open, completely relaxed. I'm not gonna like do this. I'm just gonna look straight into this, and I'm gonna go from like this point early on in my crease where it's still kind of doing a shape that I like, and I'm going to extend that up, and I'm gonna go big. Trust me, this will work out, just follow along. And then I'm gonna go from the bottom, again, I'm keeping relaxed. Actually, let's kind of fix that up a little bit. Going from the bottom, we're gonna go down here, and we're gonna bring it up. So that might look kind of silly to you, but then when I look at you straight on, it kind of works. And then from here, what we're gonna do is kind of go like maybe the outer 1/3 of the lid. We're just gonna start filling that in. Kind of get the shape right. And then while it's still wet, we're gonna take our palette. I'm going to use this black color and my little concealer brush. Pack it in, pack it right on top, pack it all around. Just kind of really get that in there. You wanna get it like before it dries because it'll kind of matte down the eyeliner. And you kind of wanna go a little bit outside of the lines that you've created just to create more of like a smoky, kind of just like not so clean cut look. Gonna go down in here, gonna kind of like extend it in a little bit. So now we're gonna go in with whatever other color we wanna go in with. I just got this new palette and I wanna match, I think I wanna do these two colors, these like super bright oranges. So I think what I'm just gonna use is my regular little pinky shade, maybe get a little bit of that purpley mauve kind of color. And I'm gonna take my regular brush, grab that, and I'm gonna start packing that in the area in between. Now this also works if you don't go so far with that. If you wanted to like make that shorter, you can. Just start really packing it in, even on top of it a little bit, because we're gonna like blend this all out. Get it kind of like all over the lid, but leave your little crease or the little inner, whatever it's called, the inner eye corner, leave that alone. Maybe take that darker shade. So I was using this one, but then I'm gonna take that darker shade and kind of like blend it out a little bit into the black. Okay. I just realized I haven't been doing it on my other eye. We're not gonna worry about that. Start blending it out, just like on the black and like the pink, start blending it kind of together. Now let's go in with the eyeliner. I hope I can do this on camera. We're gonna keep following that template that we already made, kind of like down here and going up, and keep your eye relaxed. Just gonna get that line going. Connect it to what you got going on up here. What we're doing here is we're trying to create that kind of like bat wing look, but a little bit exaggerated. So get that general shape that you want, general shape. Bring it back down, bring it over a little bit. And just like we did last time, we're gonna go over it with some black eyeliner. But we're gonna go up here, kind of like line our actual eye. And then yeah, we're gonna go back in with our little packing brush with the black. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did expanding it back out, kind of covering the edge a little bit so it's not as clean. That way when we blend it out, it'll be a little bit fuzzier. Extend it out a little bit. And then when we're actually ready to do our, like, we know that we like the shape, it's like, okay, yeah, this is really cute. We're gonna go in with our more fine tip liner and use whatever products you have. And we're just gonna use the guideline that we already have. Now at the bottom liner, this is where we have a lot of fun with it. I don't have a lot of bottom lashes. It's really hard for me to put anything on with mascara. So I'm just gonna start drawing them on. You're gonna go really light. What you really wanna do is kind of poke it and then flick. Like you want it to be kind of like that. And then I kind of just like, you know, this is another one of those things where it's gonna depend on your own eye shape. Kind of go in and just lightly give yourself some eyelashes. I like to go really dramatic. If you have like a smaller one, you can do it even better. This is also the zone where like if you want to do something fun as an accent, like I have this eyeliner pen stamp. People are always asking me how I get the hearts on my eyes. I have a stamp. I can't do that myself. But this is when I go in and like, you know, maybe there, add some heart, stars, whatever, just to kind of like add a lot of different dimension into there. Whatever you want to do. This is also the point where like if you wanted to start making it more of a clown look, instead of going in here, you could bring it up. That's what I do sometimes. And then here, instead of going over, you can bring it down. I'm scared of clowns, so I'm not going to do that right now. Once we have this kind of base situation going, we're going to go in with our lighter color. I've got this like kind of bluish white one on this palette, and get into that inner corner just to have a base for the glitter that we're about to put on. You got like a lot of darkness going on in here. This might also be a moment where if you have some like makeup remover, you could like remove it. I don't, so I'm just gonna get in there, slightly blend it out a little bit. And now is when we are going in with our glitter. Ooh, hold on, look at that. Forbidden Cheeto dust. Okay, so from here, you're gonna wanna just put it on your lid. We have hooded eyes, we gotta go higher. I'm gonna start from up here and just bring it down. And I'm gonna bring it a little bit into the black to kind of cover it up. And we're just gonna leave it like that for now. We're gonna pack on some more. And then you can use a different finger. I'm gonna use the same finger so it blends a little bit. I'm gonna go into that second shade and go in this way. Oh, that is so pretty. Oh, sorry. This is my first time using this palette. Oh my God, that is so pretty. Go in with the lightest shade. The more shimmers and stuff you use, the more dimension you give yourself. I like to go really high up in there with that. And then, you know, you still have to kind of blend it out. So blend it out a little bit. If you wanted to, you could also put a little bit like over here. Just kind of add that. Oh, that's so pretty. That's so pretty. I like to cover up the black, honestly, once we start getting into the inner. Like if you made any mistakes, this is when you start to cover it up. But now that we're done, we're gonna go back in with the black. We're gonna take our little guy, we're gonna go to the black, and we are going to just kind of take it a little further in. At this point, it's just eyeballing it wherever we want it to go back to that instead of the actual like glitter poppy kind of situation. And it will kind of mix up a little bit. That's okay. It's actually a really cool thing that it's doing. Blend it out. Bam. At this point, if you want to go back in with eyeliner, absolutely do that. I also really like to take like a white eyeliner and just add little accents on. So like I'll usually do like a little dot under my eye, and then maybe also a dot here in the inner corner. Give it kind of a little pop, you know, little accents. If you have anything else you want to do, like if you wanted to take this and start dotting things on, you could absolutely do that. We're gonna take some mascara. I like using tubing mascara the most just because it's enjoyable for me. It doesn't really smear as much. This is the L'Oreal Paris Double Extender, but I've been seeing a lot more tubing mascaras come out. So, you know, just do your eyelashes however you do. If you do just mascara, put on your mascara. I'm gonna be putting on some false lashes And if you are doing false lashes, you might want to go thicker on the eyeliner that you have around your eye, just so that it doesn't like show the band or anything like that. You know, now we're just finishing up the makeup. I'm done giving you guys advice at this point. I need just as much help getting my eyelashes on as you do, but I did put some on my like outer corner, lift it up a little bit. I like to not have it follow my lash line, but instead go up a little, the inner corner, and then I cut off the end of my lashes and I put a little bit of glue on the under eye so that I can stick them there. So it's like a little faux fake lashes on the bottom moment. You know what? I want to add more dimension. I'm going to go in with the blue palette and I'm going to add in this one right here for just a little bit more of a pop because I want more color in there, I think. Ooh, yeah. Maybe a little bit of this like blue one too on the outer. Ooh, yeah. It's the final look. I think that that's the best I could do to explain it. I'm so sorry if you have any questions and it's confusing, please let me know. The biggest takeaway is to do the shape to whatever eye shape you have. Don't try to work against what you have, just try to work with it. And if you think it looks weird from the side, just remember, I do my makeup for myself. My side profile is none of my business. That's for everyone else to figure out. I still look good no matter what. Thanks for watching.